Hi, I'm Ron Nutter, and welcome to another edition of Tech Bites with Ron Nutter. This time we're going to do something I think you'll find very interesting with the Hubitat we've been working with so far. Now, we've shown several things on setting this up. That's a given. And we've even shown setting up a few bulbs, such as this Sengled LED. But this time I'm going to show you how to get Hubitat working with single LED and a newcomer, a Samsung Smartthings button. And that starts now. I'll admit, I don't mind accessing things by a web interface, and there's a lot of functionality that we haven't even begun to deal with on Hubitat. But I tell you what, I found something very interesting, and especially if you're looking to take your Hubitat on the road traveling with you, now you've got the option for some of your devices, now it may not work for all of them, to use this little gem. It's a Samsung, let me get out of the light here a little bit, a Samsung SmartThings button. Now you say, what's a button? Okay, this is basically, let me look here on the back. Well, if that one, it doesn't have it here, but I know I can see it over here. This is a Zigbee device, just like this is, but you have three different things you can do with this. Now, here's the picture. You press it once, that's considered a press. You can double tap it, and you can hold it. And typically holding is when you hold it for about 2 seconds. So essentially you can get three things out of the same button. Now, you can't get much better value for your money than that. There are some other button-like devices that Hubitat supports, but this is the one I could find the easiest. Now, this was $15 on Amazon, and I had to go get a second one because, trust me, once you've had one, you want more than one. So I'm going to actually be able to control multiple devices. So from say you're traveling and you got it in your hotel room, you could have one of these set to turn on a light. You can another one set to turn on, say, the IKEA trad-free outlet. That's another video we've got yet coming. So you wouldn't have to use a web browser. Now, do you want to carry a whole lot of these? Probably not. But for one or two things, just for some basic functionality, and these are magnetized on the back. So if you want to put it, say, on the lamppost or something that is nearby, you can have it right within arm's reach. So this has been one of the interesting things that I've seen I can only do with the Hubitat. But I tell you what, let's shift over to the other camera, and you'll get a sense for how easy this is to do. Okay, now in this video is when we get to show some of the features that are unique to Hubitat. So let's go ahead, and I've got the tab pulled on the Samsung button controller, and we'll discover devices. One more time, discover devices. I got to click on it the right way, and it's already found it. And we'll wait for the initialization process to finish. You'll notice a difference in the flashing rate on the Samsung button. And we will call it Samsung button 1. And because I'm actually going to set up a second button here at one point. So we'll go save. Now we'll go back up into devices, and we're going to do a little bit of a diagnostic check. Now we'll go to Samsung button 1, and look over here on the right, and this will show us a little bit. We'll push the bulb. See, it says pushed, and that's just a single tap. If we double tap, then it'll show double tap. And if we hold it, then it'll say held. So that shows you the states that it's gotten. Interesting enough, it's actually reporting the temperature. I'm not quite sure how that one is, but that's what it's doing at this point. Now, there's another way to look at this too. And if we go ahead here to logs, and this is another good way to see, and you can see it more in real time. We'll single tap. Now it says pushed. Okay, that's what it should. We'll do a double tap. Okay, again, it's reporting back, and then we'll hold it. Okay, so it's verified all three modes. So that's just a good thing to have. Well, now is when we get into the secret sauce. So we'll go up here to apps, and I've already got button controllers installed. So we will create a new button controller, and we'll call it Sengled button controller. And it just helps it. I try to have unique names on everything. So we'll click select button device and Samsung button 1. Now go ahead and click update, and we'll tell it to use held. And the reason I like to use held is that way, in case it accidentally gets brushed, it's not going to trip. If we select button, we just select button 1, which there is only one button on the Samsung button controllers to use, and we will go down here to select actions when button 1 is held, and we will control switches, buttons, and capture restore. This is not an intuitive option, but you'll see where we go here in just a minute. So we'll click on toggle these switches, and we're going to select a bulb. It's not really switches, but it's seeing it as a switch, so that's fine. We'll go on Sengled, we'll update, and we'll go down here to push a button, Samsung button 1, update, and you'll enter the button number 1 here, and then we'll go done, and done, and done, just for good measure. And let's go down here to logs, and we'll hold it here. So it shows you how it's working right there, and we'll do it again. And it turns off. So we've got it toggling state, so you don't, if you had 2 buttons, then you could sit there and have 1 button for on, 1 button for off. But this way, we're getting maximum use out of the device. And if we go up here to devices, and we'll just look at this another way, and we will want to, okay, there's not really a way to clear the states, so we'll hold it. Okay, it's unfortunate, there's not really a way to clear, unless we go to events. Let's try events and see what it has to say. And can I clear the event fields? Okay, thought I could, but this is one of the where you use the button controllers, and the one that I've got from Samsung is like $15. So that's very very affordable. It's a CR2032 battery, and it just gives you yet another way to do it. So this way, you've got an option of controlling a bulb without having to go into a web browser. So when you're setting this up, if you're traveling, you're in a hotel room, I'm probably going to end up having several buttons because I'll have them tied into different things. That way I don't have to go to the web app, and it's more like you're in your own home or in a situation where you don't have to bring up the phone. We'll go up here to dashboards, and we'll go up to my main dashboard. You can see it's already on, so we'll hold the button and give it a second here, and you can see it change state. So again, this really is very straightforward. Now, if you compare this to some of the steps that I found on the Hubitat site, I had to go through a few extra hoops, but I was using the Samsung button, so that may be where the difference comes in. So that, the recurring theme, and I'm not trying to keep running this into the ground, is I'm trying to make this very straightforward because there are a lot of things that I see the potential with doing a Hubitat. I alluded in a previous video that I was having a conversation with one of the companies who makes quite a few products that are compatible with Hubitat. We got an agreement in principle today, and then hopefully here within the next few weeks, I'll have just about their entire product line. So there's a lot of potential for doing this, and it's not going to be just lights. It's going to be leak sensors. It's going to be a door alarm. So when you're traveling in a hotel room, even if you're at home, the same thing applies, but I'm going to be looking at things from 2 different perspectives because this Hubitat can travel very nicely, doesn't require a Wi-Fi interface. So in this way, you can have a completely self-contained system and don't have to worry about connecting it to hotel Wi-Fi or to a hotspot. So it's going to be very exciting to see this goes, and we've got a surprise for you in the next video to show you yet another way you can control Hubitat and even add some functionality to it. So thank you for everyone who's been watching this so far. If you have anything you'd like to see me do with Hubitat or any of the other smart home devices, please let me know. I'm more than happy to do what I can. I'm always looking for new options because there's so much that can be done with this, and especially for those who have to travel, I'm trying to keep an extra eye there so that you can have the option of having your smart home with you when you travel. Oh, and one little thing I want is a parting statement. If you have to reset the Samsung Smartthings button, you'll notice there's a tiny little hole right up there. That's where you'll go in with a paper clip. And you can even use like this little SIM card tool right here. It goes in there just well. So if you need to reset it, that's the way you do it. This runs on a CR2032 battery. So really, that's very straightforward. And you couldn't, it couldn't be more straightforward. Like I said, I had to do a few extra steps beyond what was shown on the Hubitat website. But that, again, could be just the, because I was using this button and because of the way the driver for it was written. Who knows? But anyway, I got it to work, and it's very reproducible. I've got the steps in the show notes for this video, and they'll be up on the podcast website as well, so that if you want to have something to walk through step by step as a checklist and the video's not handy, you'll be able to do that as well. Well, we've come to the end of another video. Thank you very much for watching. If you do decide you want to buy this, I've got affiliate links in the show notes that if you do buy something, I do get a small commission, but that doesn't change your price at all, but it does help to support the ongoing expenses I have with getting the equipment, because not everything is provided. So thank you for your time. If you haven't subscribed, please consider doing so. If you think the video was good enough for you, that you got something out of it, if you click the like button, I'd really appreciate that too. If not, hey, I understand. But if it didn't meet your needs, please tell me what it is. I want to make sure that I continue to increase the quality and the usefulness of the information. Take care, and we'll see you again soon.